Hi guys, welcome back to BARROVAIN Made. In this episode we are going to be making a laptop stand. Now, I know you may think it's a pretty naff gift. Basically, last year for Christmas, there was one person in the family I forgot to make a gift for. So very last minute I thought, okay, what does she do? She's recently got a job where she's on a computer all the time. I'll make her a laptop stand. And it went down a lot better than I thought it would, to the point where my mother actually nicked it off my sister so she could use it. And they've been ranting and raving about it, and they've been wanting one ever since. So I figured we're doing a series here where we're making stuff for people on Christmas, either last minute, one day builds, you know. This fits in perfectly, and it was a well-received gift, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys. So what you'll need, or what I'm using anyway, find a big enough chunk of wood. Where are my measurements? I'm making this one for myself. I have a MacBook. I haven't measured my MacBook, so hopefully it does fit. I've just gone on the stuff online. So we'll need something that's at least 35 centimeters long and at least 24 centimeters tall. This only just fits into that. I mean, we've got plenty of room on the length here, so we can cut that to size. And then what we'll need is some other chunky stock. We use this for the key fob build, you know, to put the key fob in. So we can cut this in half, and these can be the back legs to keep it set up right. So that's everything we'll need. Let's first get started on cutting this down to the right shape, and I'll show you how to find out the angles and do all the cuts and all that good stuff. So stick around. Easy build, well received gift. Your friends and family will love it. Ah! Cold hands. So the first thing we need to do is to cut this to 35 centimeters. As you can see, I have gotten this bit of oak off an old table before, so there are quite a few holes in the back. They don't come out to the front, so I'm just going to keep this as the underside. If you wanted to do the proper job and you wanted to do it all nice and stuff, you'd get your plug cutters out and you'd fill all these holes up, make it look nice. But this is just going to be for myself. I've measured this up for my MacBook, so yeah, I'm not too bothered about these being on the underside as long as the top looks nice. But I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to cut this to 35 centimeters. We'll get one straight edge first. So let's go. Right, here comes the annoying part, because I've lost my tape measure and I need to somehow measure 35 centimeters across. So, I mean, I have my square. They have a measuring tape on it, but this only goes up to 30. So let's do it like this, I think. Have I got a little pencil? $30. Mark off where 30 is. Go over 5. There we go. So we'll make our cut there. Right, let's go. Not gonna lie, I think Google might have lied to me. That looks a bit smaller than my MacBook. My MacBook is a 13-inch screen, like, you know, 13 inches for the screen. It looks smaller. Why does it look smaller? That's 10. Well, that's about 17 inches across. So, double check, 10. Yeah, it's about 7. Right, let's just roll with it. I don't know. Anyway, now we need to figure out what we're going to do for cutting the feet on the bottom of it. So let's go do that. We'll meet you back at the bench, and I'll show you how we're going to work out all of our angles. So once we're back on the bench, what I've done is I've quickly just cleaned this up as well, so it's a bit more square. We had a rebate in the side of it, so I could just cut that off. This is also off another table. If you've seen, you'll see on my channel somewhere that there's a video about getting free oak and stuff like that off Facebook Marketplace. This is all oak off, from doing that. So good video if you want to go check it out. Get yourself some free stuff. So you want to work out your angle by just tilting it up until you feel like, yeah, it's a good angle for a laptop stand. and you want to have this by the side, grab a pencil, just go underneath and just draw in your angle. So that is the height and the angle of which we need to cut. And then obviously the angle is also repeated on this side. So then we can just take the height and do a square cut there. So let's head back over to the table saw. Let's get all of this cut out. So the easiest and best way I find to get this angle right on the table saw, you'll see most people, they get these like fancy little angle finders and they come back and they use all that. That's a great and accurate way to do it, but a very simple way to do it in a workshop where we don't have a lot of tools is just to get your sliding miter sled, which, by the way, if you don't have a table saw with a miter sled, there's a million videos out there of making jigs and stuff to do the exact same thing on your table saw. And you can very easily do this on your chop saw by just adjusting the swing of it and plunging down. I don't trust the accuracy of my chop saw though, so I like to do everything on the table saw. I need to get a new chop saw someday, but that's on the list of tools that I need to get. But anyway, once we've loosened this little slider up, what we're going to do is we're going to find our angle, get it in the rough area like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a straight edge. I'm just going to use a square at the minute. I'm going to bump my table saw blade up, put this flat to the blade, and make sure that that line lines up with the straight edge that we have. If you're going to grab the blade the way I'm doing it right now, by the way, make sure your table saw is off. The button is only here and you could very easily knee it by accident. Or if you're wearing overalls with pencils and stuff in your pocket, you can quite easily turn the on button on. So make sure your table saw is fully turned off at the wall before you start sticking your hand in blades and stuff. Just, you know, don't be stupid. Let me push this back a little bit. And what you can do, just line that up. There we go, it looks about perfect to me. And what we're going to do, tighten this down. And before we make our cut, we're going to make sure that nothing has moved. Because quite often, I've put everything up, taken the cut, and I've been like, why is the cut wrong? It's because once I've been turning it, this is pulled slightly and turned. So double check that everything's sitting in line. Yes, it is. Great, now we can take our cut. So I'm just going to line that up, bring it back. Well, actually, let's set the height first because we bumped it up, didn't we? So bring that back down slightly. Line everything up. Great, now we're going to take our cut. Alright, now we don't have to worry about doing the same angle on this side because the angle is already cut there. So what we're going to do is going to flip this over, make sure this is all flat with each other. And then just score a line there. But instead of scoring it with a pencil, because we want some more accuracy, we're going to get a marking knife. This swanky little thing that I made on a video, if you want to go check that out. Make sure everything's sitting nice and flat. And then we're going to strike across and score a line. There we go. Now we can set this back to 90 degrees. Make that cut, and then we have our feet. And now we have 2 feet that are sitting at the exact same height. We got the exact same angle. Everything's hunky-dory. Let's go back over to the bench and we'll talk about it. So as you can see, our laptop stand is slowly coming together. These are where the feet are going to go. And it tilts up slightly, and you can imagine if you come over your laptop, we'll call this a laptop, you can put it on there and it will nice and easy tilt it up here to do that. I can also bump the screen up so it's more at eye level to prevent eye strain, but it's just sliding off. So we need a little lip on the bottom here. Now you can just cut out something very thin like this. This is just some stock I had on hand. I'll need to cut another one out so it actually goes to the full length to stick on the very end there, so there's a little lip so your laptop can't just slide off. But before we do any of that, I want to get the rest of this all cleaned up so it's ready to glue up, because right now we still have the old varnish on, same with like this, and we want to get it all sanded and looking nice. So off camera, I'm going to do that, and I'll head back to you when we're about to start gluing everything up. So give me 2 minutes, I'll be back in a sec. All right, so I've got everything sanded up. This is the underside, don't worry, these holes aren't on the front. We have our feet. We're going to glue these on, and to speed things up, I'm going to use a little bit of super glue. And we also have this that I cut out that we will be putting on the front of it as that little lip that we talked about earlier. So let's go ahead. Let's start gluing this down. So what we're going to do is just do a nice little loop around the outside. We want as minimal squeeze out as possible as well, so we'll put a bit of the super glue on as well. And hopefully we can put this into place, press it down, and that super glue should hold it until it fully dries. If you do get a lot of squeeze out like I have here, all you have to do is get some sandpaper, quickly just buff it off, and it should be good. So we have that leg, that's set into place now. Let's do the other leg. Flip that over while they are drying. And we're going to do the front now, this little bar. Which side are we going to want to stick down? There we go, I think that's its best looking side. So we're going to go
drop, drop, drop. Do little drops all along.
So to explain why we're using wood glue and super glue, the wood glue is going to be a permanent bond, and the super glue is technically like a temporary bond. You can think of super glue as just being a clamp. Once we push it down, it will harden, and it will hold it there while the rest of the actual wood glue dries. So we don't have to put it in clamps and wait, because I have a lot of videos to make, so I can't really afford to sit around waiting for things to dry. And also, if it's coming up to Christmas, and you've got a day or something to make a few gifts, then you want something that's going to dry straight away. Now, because of the wood glue, it will be strong enough, and the super glue, you know, that'll hold as well, but I wouldn't just trust the super glue alone, if you know what I mean. So, using both of them, it's the best of both worlds. You get the instant fix with the super glue, and you have the long-term bond with the wood glue. Right, so everything's all set up now. I've went around and I've got a little bit of sandpaper and I've buffed off all of the squeeze out. What we're going to do now, grab our trusty hard wax oil, and we're just going to lather it on there. Make that grain pop. Splash a little tiny bit on the surface. Let's have a look at what it looks like. Ooh, beautiful. Take it all the way around. Boom. And that is our laptop stand all nice and done now. Yeah, so we'll head upstairs. I'll show you what it looks like with the computer on it. Hopefully it fits. A little bit skeptical on it, but of course, if you want to get it to exact dimensions and stuff, you can have a look at your laptop or whoever person you're gifting this to laptop and put it to size there. But we'll run upstairs now. We'll go see what this looks like.